to be for horses, carriages and sleds of the imperial court. Today, there are various facilities such as the University of Music, the Berlin City Library and the Association for the History of Berlin. The adjoining new building is the House of German Economy.
Hello, chị Mai chụp ảnh đi nha. Hello. Chị ơi, sông này là sông gì?
On the left, the Nikolaev, or Nicholas Water with its medieval church, invites you to experience a small town history. The little square is decorated with a bronze equestrian sculpture of Saint George the Dragon, which was originally in the courtyard of the Berlin Palace. Used to be part of the city's water mills. For example, wool was spun by the power of the water, grains were ground and oils pressed. The bridge also served as a connection between two medieval cities, Berlin to the east and Cologne to the west.
Xung quanh thành phố đấy.
In front of us is the Mühlendamm lock that lifts or lowers ships approximately 1,60 meters between the upper and lower Spree River. At this point, we will turn our ship and proceed the cruise by sailing downriver. Please take notice of the old historic harbour next to the lock, where restored historic ships are used as restaurants or for cruises with a feel of tradition.
Toilet ở ngay đây này, ai đi toilet đây này. Đấy, đẹp không? Kiểu như Bernie rồi như một thuyền thì rất to. Hà Lan kinh dịch bé lắm.
See the St. Nicholas Church, named after St. Nicholas Church, with its two pointed towers. It's used to be Berlin's oldest church, but houses a museum today. In this area were the origins of Berlin in the Middle Ages, when two settlements became the towns of Berlin and Cologne, the Spree. But the cradle of Berlin was destroyed largely in World War II. For Berlin's 750th anniversary in 1987, the area, extending 200 by 200 square meters, was reconstructed with prefabricated concrete block buildings. Even the reconstruction of the traditional restaurant Zum Nussbaum was incorporated, which had been on the other riverside for approximately 500 years. The red sandstone building the start of the German Renaissance is one of the few original buildings of St. Nicholas Porter that survived the war. 90% of the old town center and approximately 60% of the city were destroyed by war and demolition. In front of us is the Berlin Cathedral, built as the palace church of the Prussian royal family, the Hohenzollern. The Berlin Palace, the residence of the Prussian kings and German emperors, stood next to the church for more than 500 years. The monarchy ended in 1918 by abdication of Kaiser Wilhelm II, who went into exile to the Netherlands. During World War II, the Berlin Palace was damaged and the ruins were demolished by the GDR government. Historical architecture was removed in order to design the center of the new socialist state. Instead of the Imperial Palace, the People's Palace, the Palace of the Republic, was erected in the 1970s. Designed for public entertainment and as the seat of the GDR's parliament, when Erich Honecker was politically in charge and decorated with numerous impressive lamps, it was widely known as Erich's Lamp Shop. As an ironic quirk of history, a parliament of the reunited Germany decided to remove the Palace of the Republic, which was demolished until 2008 in order to erect an outer image of the former Berlin Palace. Though inside, this new Humboldt Forum is supposed to be a place of public education with exhibitions and events. Straight ahead, you can see briefly the golden dome of the Jewish center in the new synagogue. Built in 1866, the synagogue got largely destroyed during World War II and was partly reconstructed until 1995. Today, many art galleries and restaurants are near the synagogue. The next bridge is Friedrichsbrücke, which leads to Museum Island. Museum Island is the cultural heart of the city. It is located on an island between the two arms of the river. Since the 19th century, some royal art collections were made accessible to the public, and thus the first museum was built here. Within 100 years, 5 museums were built, even after the monarchy had ended. The first museum, called the Old Museum, was opened in 1830. The new museum was built 30 years later, followed by the Old National Gallery in 1876, and the Bode Museum completed in 1904. The Pergamon Museum, which is the youngest of the 5 museums, was completed only in 1930. The Old National Gallery from 1876 is surrounded by colonnades, and in front of it is the Prussian King Frederick William IV on horseback, who was once the patron of the museum. Museum Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and attracts art-loving guests from all over the world. Museums offer Egyptian, Babylonian, Greek and Roman art and antiquities, a coin collection, as well as Romanticist and early modern art. Among the highlights of the collections are the bust of Nefertiti, the Ishtar Gate of Babylon, the Pergamon altar, and Greek and Roman vases from Asia Minor, as well as works by Caspar David Friedrich, Carl Friedrich Schinkel, Max Liebermann, Rodin, Monet,
cái chỗ thềm cái bé tí thế kia mà bọn thanh niên nó ra nó ngồi.
All 5 museums have their individual exhibitions. Their
Không sợ rơi.
contents are related to each other. In 2019, the James Seaman Gallery was officially opened. It was designed by the architect David Chipperfield and serves as the visitor center of Museum Island. Next to the Old National Gallery, you see the backside of the Pergamon Museum. The railway bridge ahead serves city trains, regional trains and ICE trains. It is part of Berlin's oldest urban railway system, the S-Bahn. Behind it, the Bode Museum appears on the left, named after Wilhelm Bode, a mastermind of modern museum policies. Wilhelm Bode was nicknamed the Bismarck of the Berlin museums. The park on the right is called Montbijou Park, named after a Baroque palace that was destroyed in World War II. Today, the park provides playgrounds and an outdoor pool for children. The partially reconstructed bridge in front of us also bears the name of the former palace. It connects Museum Island with the two spray embankments. On the left, the towered building with a red roof was originally called Alexander Barracks, named after the Russian Tsar Alexander, who had been the supreme commander of the artillery regiment therein. Following the dissolution of the Imperial Guards regiments, the barracks were used from the 1920s by police units, the Wehrmacht, the East German Barrack People's Police, and the Guards Regiment Friedrich Engels of the National People's Army of the GDR. Today, the complex of listed buildings house facilities of Humboldt University and the German Historical Museum. The House with the Cross is the seat of the German Catholic military bishop. This is a federal authority subordinate to the Federal Ministry of Defense. The building on Weidendam has more than 200 years of military history and was built in 1773. The Protestant counterpart has also moved to Berlin and is located right next to the Berlin Zoo station. Next to the Catholic bishop is the house of the Association for Commerce, Service and Tourism.